For months, fans were left trying to piece together what really happened between Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. Their sudden divorce wasn't just unexpected, it felt impossible. These were two people who built nearly 20 years of history together, raised two daughters, survived major ups and downs, and still appeared inseparable in public. So when the announcement dropped last September, it didn't just make headlines. It left people stunned. And the strangest part? Both of them went completely silent. No interviews, no explanations, not even a hint about what caused the split. Until now. Nicole finally decided to break that silence, but not in the way anyone expected. It happened casually, almost quietly, during a conversation with Ariana Grande for Interview magazine. A moment that wasn't supposed to be about her personal life suddenly became a subtle revelation that shocked everyone paying attention. And although she didn't spill the full story, what she said, and what she didn't say, has created more questions than answers. But to understand why her words hit so hard, you have to rewind to the moment everything fell apart. The divorce announcement came out of nowhere. There weren't any public fights, no strange statements, no major scandals attached to their names. The couple had just celebrated another anniversary not long before, and fans were still reposting their red carpet moments as proof that long-term Hollywood marriages could still survive. So when the news dropped, people were scrambling. Rumors shot across social media. Some claimed they saw this coming. Others insisted something big must have happened behind the scenes. And with both stars choosing silence, speculation only grew wilder. Nicole's quietness, especially, made the situation even more mysterious. She kept showing up at events, smiling politely, posing for pictures, giving interviews about upcoming projects, but never mentioning Keith. Clips of her walking red carpets began trending because fans were analyzing every detail. Was she avoiding certain questions? Was she more reserved than usual? Did she look tired or emotional? None of these interpretations were confirmed, but online discussions kept spinning. People were desperate for any clue, any sign, anything that could help explain the sudden ending of such a long relationship. Then came her conversation with Ariana Grande, the moment that changed everything. During their chat, Ariana brought up how they hadn't seen each other since a red carpet event months earlier, and that's when Nicole finally gave the first glimpse into her emotional state. She simply said, "I'm hanging in there." Just 3 words, but they landed like a confession. Not a dramatic one, not an angry one, not even a revealing one. Just honest, quiet, heavy. It was the first time she spoke about the divorce at all, and it carried far more weight than any detailed explanation ever could. Fans immediately picked up on the tone. She didn't say she was fine. She didn't say she was doing great. She didn't say she was moving on or focusing on work. She said she was hanging in there, a phrase people use when they're holding themselves together, piece by piece, trying to navigate something painful without completely falling apart. And that small, vulnerable moment was enough to reignite conversations that had been simmering for weeks. But just as people were trying to decode Nicole's words, another story resurfaced, one that involved Keith Urban himself. Strangely, it wasn't from an interview, a statement, or anything official. It came from a fan. This fan, named Dale Whiteside, looked so much like Keith that people often mistook him for the country star. According to his account, he met Keith at a concert in Saskatoon, Canada, just 2 weeks before Nicole filed for divorce. Dale joked about a moment when a couple confused him for Keith until they noticed he didn't have a specific tattoo or a wedding ring. And Keith's response instantly triggered speculation. He reportedly said, "Next time, it'll probably be just the tattoos." That single line became the center of endless discussion. Some fans interpreted it as a hint that he wasn't wearing his ring much anymore. Others thought he was brushing off the question with a sarcastic comment. Nothing was confirmed, of course, but because Keith had not publicly addressed the divorce either, people started digging deeper into the timeline. If he really said that before the filing, did he already know the divorce was coming? Was he emotionally preparing himself? Or was it just an offhand joke taken way too seriously by everyone listening? Rumors spread fast. Some online users claimed they'd noticed a distance between the couple for months before the official announcement. A few pointed out that Keith had been traveling more for concerts, while Nicole appeared increasingly focused on her work in Los Angeles. Reports suggested fans believed there were signs: fewer joint appearances, shorter interviews, and subtle changes in how they talked about each other. None of this was confirmed, and Nicole herself has never backed up any of these claims. But the whispers grew into theories, and theories grew into full-blown narratives. Still, beneath the speculation, it's impossible to ignore what Keith and Nicole built together. They married in 2006, long before social media could twist every celebrity moment into a story. They were known for staying private, for protecting their daughters, and for supporting each other through everything, including Keith's journey through rehab early in their marriage. It was a chapter that could have broken them, but instead, it became one of the reasons people believed their connection was unshakable. And maybe that's why the divorce hurt fans so much. It wasn't just another celebrity breakup. It was the end of something that once looked solid, steady, and almost immune to Hollywood chaos. Nicole's brief comment didn't answer the big questions, but it did shine a small light on where she stands emotionally, trying to move forward step by step, without rushing into explanations she may not be ready to give. Her words reminded people that behind the glamorous photos and dazzling premieres, she's still a human being navigating one of the toughest experiences anyone can go through. And Keith's silence adds another layer of uncertainty. Whether his comment to the fan was a clue, a coincidence, or nothing at all, it's become part of the story fans can't stop discussing. Both stars seem to be processing things privately, choosing not to reveal the deeper reasons behind their split. At least not yet. So what happens next? Sources say Nicole is focusing on upcoming film projects while taking time for her daughters. Keith, on the other hand, is preparing for new music and future tours. They appear to be moving forward individually, each stepping into a new chapter after a nearly 20-year partnership. Fans are hoping they keep things peaceful for the sake of their family, but beyond that, everything remains uncertain. Nicole's words didn't give us a full picture, but they did close the door on the silence that had been surrounding the divorce. Her calm, understated honesty left people feeling emotional, curious, and deeply sympathetic. In a world where breakups often become public battles, hers felt almost poetic in its quietness. And maybe that's the most surprising part. Sometimes the most dramatic revelations aren't loud, angry, or explosive. Sometimes they're three quiet words spoken by someone who's simply trying to hold everything together. With Keith staying quiet, Nicole choosing gentle honesty, and fans still wondering what truly happened, one thing is clear. The real story behind their split hasn't fully surfaced yet. And until it does, the small clues, subtle comments, and mysterious timing will continue to spark conversations everywhere. But for now, what we do know is this: Nicole finally spoke. And even if she only revealed a little, it was enough to remind everyone that behind the headlines, behind the rumors, and behind the perfect Hollywood image, there's a real person learning how to rebuild her life after the end of a love story that seemed unbreakable.